Hi guys, Brian Ormantrout here with the Food Leadership Group, and this is my third talk in a series of 4 quick little messages around the Food Safety Modernization Act and what I think are some of the top areas that companies are missing in their preparation, things that they need to consider. The one I want to talk about today is recall programs and crisis management. Of course, this is systems that all of us have in place. Extremely critical that we're focusing on how these things work. Now, normally what happens in plants is when your auditor comes in, so be it through a third party, AIB, Silica, SQF, SAI, doesn't matter who it is, mock recalls take place at the plant level. They test your system. They make sure that you can track your products moving forward. They make sure that you can track your ingredients. And then if you do have an issue, that you have traceability within your system. That's great. Those systems need to continue, and it's very important that those things work. The new wrinkle in the system now is FDA is also looking at your overall crisis management system. So the plant part of it is one piece. They're also going to be asking questions around your corporate side. How are your people trained? How does your quality assurance organization function within this? How does communications work? What does your executive team, what do your sales and marketing people do? How are you prepared to deal with a crisis in a particular situation? And how do you test that system? So the best way to think of this is creating documents in a 2-tiered approach. So the first tier is going to be, how do you decide that you have an issue? So think of this as the information that you need in your system prior to making a decision to put food in the recordable food registry report for an issue. Generally, this is going to be a class 1, a rather serious issue affecting human health, life, those types of situations. How do you go through that process of deciding? Once you decide that you have that issue, that's when that 24-hour clock of reporting this to FDA kicks in. So you need to document this very clearly on how this process works. So generally what happens is you have some type of a complaint. It can be an internal, external. Doesn't matter where the source comes. It can become your suppliers. But it needs to get to a central person who decides whether or not a food safety risk could be present. Once there is a potential threat that needs to be evaluated, then things begin to expand at that point. Once that central core team decides that, yes, we do have a potential here for a threat to human health, potential class 1 issue, that's when your recall processes become activated. You enter the second phase, which is the actual execution. This is when the full team is involved. This is when a decision is made relative to that. And you have to let FDA know what's going on. Then you begin the process of executing, communicating with the public, making sure that there's no product in the marketplace, protecting consumer health, which is why we're all here, and closing out that process at the end. Think of these just like as I've talked about in the first 2 videos around foreign supplier verification and quality systems, not only your plant function. The area that's getting overlooked here is the corporate side. You have to focus in on the corporate side. FDA is going to be looking at that very closely. And you can expect, and I'm going to be seeing this here within the next few years, FDA coming to your corporate headquarters. So use the same due diligence you use at the plant to prepare for traceability, to prepare for crisis management at the corporate level as well. Glad to help. Please click the button, schedule a 30-minute chat with me. We can go over your systems, look at some of the basics in place. I can give recommendations, potential next steps if you need them, or you could have great systems in place and we say, awesome, love it, you're doing a great thing. Move on to other topics. Either way, love to talk with you. Once again, Brian Ormantrout with the Food Leadership Group. Thank you.